Hi guys, this is Dominate Rex, and in this video I'm going to go over all the smokes and flashes that I think is useful in Dust 2. Now, this is not a complete list of all the smokes and flashes on Dust 2. This is just the ones that I think are the most necessary to know. Okay, so to start off on the terrorist side, the first is Xbox smoke. So this stops the mid-door oppers from getting you when you're coming along short on catwalk. So how do we throw this smoke? Well, we stick ourselves in this corner right here. We line up with this angle and this corner, right? And if you go just a little bit to a little bit higher and a little bit to the right, you can throw anywhere in this general area and you won't miss the smoke, okay? A mistake I was making when I first started off was I was always trying to line it up perfectly. And if you line it up perfectly, like sometimes it works and sometimes it misses. Like it worked that time, but sometimes it misses. So to give yourself a margin of error, just kind of go a little bit up to the right. Oops, sorry. A little bit up to the right and up, and it will land every single time. And so you'll never make a mistake when you throw it. Right, so it gives yourself just a little bit of margin of error there. Okay, the next smoke I like to smoke. I like to throw the smoke. I've never seen anyone else do this but me. You come to this corner here. You find this little splotch here. You aim at the bottom and you jump throw. And when you make this throw, the smoke lands right on this corner. So what this does is when your teammates are running out, the opper can't see. And a lot of times people will come around here where they're very vulnerable and their teammates can get an opening kill. So it is very much a support type of a smoke. And I love throwing this. I do it a lot to help my teammates out. Another one you can do, which is even more rarely used, but I do it sometimes, is especially like if it's a mid-round or late in the round, I'll come here to this corner. I aim right here and just a little bit off, right? And I throw the smoke. What this does is it smokes off this pit guy. So if this guy's holding pit, when the smoke comes, either your teammate can come out or you, when it's time for you to come out, he can't be in pit. Like he'll be standing out here and it makes it much easier for you to kill him. Or if he is in pit, it makes it a lot more easier to come around and find the kill. Or, let me just drop it again. Or you can come around here and kind of like drop down into the kill or whatever. So it makes it a lot easier. So that pit smoke is one I very rarely see anyone throw. I actually discovered that one myself, by the way. And this smoke, I rarely see anyone smoke, but it's very useful. Now, another thing I like to do is if I'm in T-spawn, I like to just kind of run up with this smoke, right? And really, and go really fast and do a jump throw. And the flash comes there. Now, how do you do it? Well, line up with this window here and this window, right? And as you're running, just throw a jump throw. It lands here. So if a guy's here, he's blind. And also, guys who hold here, right? If they hold like this or something, a lot of times they'll be blind and they'll have to fall off. So that's a really good flash for that. Now, coming B, there are some new B smokes. Now that the roof has been open, there are some B smokes. One is to come here, and I don't know, but I'm going to tell you why I don't care about these smokes. What these smokes do is they smoke door and they smoke window. Here's why I don't care for them. For one, it's very rare that you're going to be on this side and you're like doing some sort of like, you know, set set pieces with your teammates, especially on our level. So this is in a Master Guardian and below. On this level, it's not very helpful. Because the door isn't very helpful because you can easily just smoke off the door once you're in the site. And the window smoke isn't very helpful because it helps the CTs retake. I mean, if I was a CT, I kind of want the window to be smoked off, so when I come in, I mean, it's less easy to see me come in, right? So I don't like those smokes. So I'm going to show you a smoke that I do. I just completely ignore the... Now, you can flash over, right? But even the flashes I found, like the flashes from B tunnel, it rarely makes people like fully white for some reason. I don't know. They're just not great flashes. And most of the time, instead of flashing properly, people you bounce it off and you end up flashing your own teammates or something. Now, here's a smoke that is very useful still, right? You come to this little corner here, like by the wood, and you see this little dot, right? You toss the smoke off of there, right? And when you walk up, it gives you a nice one way to the door, right? And you can clear your angles and kind of walk off and clear everything. So this is a really good smoke, especially if you're solo. And a lot of people when they're rushing B, like they, you just kind of randomly throw a smoke, which is cool and everything. But if you're not rushing and you really want to throw a good smoke, come to this little corner here, toss that smoke, and you can either walk up or run up, but it doesn't matter because you can still do some cool things from the smoke. It's really good smoke. Let's see. One good nade on CT that almost no one knows or uses is, you see this line here? And you see that dot right there? Well, you can molly, just kind of aim for that, molly over this, and you can molly short. So from CT, you can molly short. That's really cool. Another thing, if you want to get yourself to LT as a CT, you can toss a flash here, come up. Now the mid-opper can't see you, and you can make your way to CT. There is a way that you can do that from here. You line up here, you toss it off of that. Yeah. And now you don't have to expose yourself, because if you come over, you still have to like risk the ops and risk short and everything. And you're throwing it that way, it's still a little bit risky. So this is safer to just line up here, toss it over here. I don't really push LT that much, but that's how you do that smoke. So speaking of mid, if you want to push mid, you can do a couple of things. You can come here, aim for this little dot in the corner, toss it over, and it will smoke off CT. A couple of more smokes that you should know. So this flash here, remember? Boom. And once you get here, you can smoke. You can have a one-way by aiming here, tossing the smoke, and boom. You got a one-way to car. Or you could even jump over and catch these guys sleeping, turn around. So really cool, really cool. Now another smoke from long, if you want to smoke CT, if you guys are coming out pushing, you can come here, line up to the center here, and just toss over like that. And what that does, it'll bounce off, and it will smoke off CT. A little bit of hole right there, but that's okay. There are a couple of interesting things you can do from here, like, if I remember correctly... Yeah, you can kind of smoke for yourself here, and you can give yourself a one-way. Now, I don't do this that often, but it is like kind of a neat trick to kind of hide in the smoke. And it's very hard for the opponents to see you when they're pushing up short. Boom, you get a kill. Really neat and cool. Another smoke you can throw is you can aim. I believe you aim for this corner, maybe? And you could jump up here and give yourself a one-way. I don't really like doing that too much, but it's an option. And finally in B, what I like to do, these are things I actually like to do in the game, most of them, is most people, when they throw their mollies, they toss them in. And when the terrorists come, they'll smoke the molly and push through, right? And they'll flash and they'll push through, and all that shit happens. What I like to do, especially if I have a smoke and a nade, is I like to smoke and toss a molly here. Because what happens is they can't see the molly. And a lot of times they'll push the smoke. They don't see the molly, and they'll just run right into the molly. Like, let me show you what happens. So let's say so they're in here. Oh, let me turn this off. So they're in here, and they just kind of push the smoke and here. They push the smoke, and oh shit, and then they just get blasted. And even if they don't die, at least that gives me and my teammates time, just assume this is an M4, to kind of just spray them down, because their health is already low. So we don't need to headshot them or anything, just a couple of hits, and they'll be dead. So that's a neat little trick. Toss a smoke, throw a molly first, and sometimes they'll push and run right through it. Or the other thing you can do, if you and your teammate has molly, and this happens a lot. So when your teammate throws a molly, like I said, everyone always just kind of tosses it in deep. Well, you toss your molly in shallow. The opponent only thinks it's one molly. They'll smoke the first one and push right through to the second molly, and they'll burn up the line. Now, if you are retaking B, or let's say that they're pushing B, one thing I like to do is I like to throw a flash like that. This flash, especially, I mean, if it bounces off properly anyway, when these guys are pushing B, this flash will totally blind them. And then you guys can, you know, all right, they're walking backwards, etc. Their teammates have flashed. They turn, and boom. Your counter molly, your counter flash blinds them a lot of the time. And so those are now, I know tons of other smokes and flashes for Dust 2, but those are the most essential ones, okay? I don't really think that it's necessary to learn every single smoke and flash on Dust 2. I think that just learning those basics can help propel you from Silver to Gold Nova to Master Guardian. So that's it for this video. I'm going to make more videos in the future. If this is your first time at the channel, please hit like and subscribe. I'm very new. Every subscriber, every view counts, and thanks so much for watching.